Hey folks, so I thought I'd try something a little bit different, and I know I've done a tank video with a commentary over it before, but I thought I'd try and make a bit of a more regular thing about it, so every time I get a particularly spectacular game, I'll use this in-app thing for the PlayStation to stick a commentary on it, and try and make a go of my own little WarThunder YouTube channel, if you like. I mean, I don't expect it to take off, but I enjoy playing the game, and it's dead easy to put these clips together, so I thought I might as well bash them out. Not a sex pun. But anyway, so I'm playing the Chieftain. I forget the name of this map. I think it's something to do with the beach landings. Normandy, that's what it's called. It's the Normandy map. Play my Chieftain, Mk5, so it's not fully upgraded. I've got the fire extinguisher though, and I've got parts, which basically means that it's fully battle ready. It has none of the mobility upgrades though, which means that it performs like an absolute sack of shit in terms of getting around the map, especially turning on the spot, which is agonisingly bad. But I can make it work. So, it's rare for me to just push right in, but I thought I'd try something new this game. And I'm talking to my brother in the background, which is why I've had to like lower the in-game volume like right down and stick some music over it, because I was just kind of distracted the whole game. Like, have you ever been doing something and you'll completely zone out whilst you're doing it, and you just sort of glide through it on autopilot and somehow do really well? That's basically what this game was. So, rushing the middle is something that I never ever do, so I'm playing it very cautiously in my autopilot state, because I'm used to flanking really wide and just trying to pick everyone off from the flanks and then push in once I know that the flanks are clear. For once, I'm trusting my team to keep the flanks clear for me, but I'm still paranoid, so I keep checking my back. I can hear shots somewhere in that direction, towards the general enemy spawn direction, and I know that if I'm going to get killed, it's going to be from the side. So I decided that I'm going to continue the push through the town and see if I can just pull something epic out of this game, which is something that I never thought would actually happen. But, I pushed down the street anyway. I really enjoy playing the Chieftain because it has really, really good survivability. Frontally, the only real weak spot is the lower front plate, which, granted, is a really massive weak spot. I mean, if the tank isn't covered by anything from the front, then the enemy are going to easily be able to pick you off. But that's not a problem here, so I push around and I find the IT-1. I could hear him shooting before. Chieftain's main gun using Sabo has 400mm of pen, so it's basically like a heat shell from a 105, and it just punches through everything. It went through his entire tank. It probably came out of the front, wiped out every single thing in between. Dead in one shot. Friendly Chieftain's pushed into the cap, checking behind me. I'm going to push into the cap with him, get myself some spawn points. I recently unlocked the Hunter F1 top tier jet, and the main purpose of me playing the Chieftain was just to try and get a plane spawn, because when you're playing planes in air realistic battles, then you get markers over everyone so the enemy can spot you really easily. When you're flying planes in tank battles, you don't get that, so I wanted to be able to play the Hunter without there being a marker over my head showing everyone where I am, because I thought I'd be able to play it easier then, because you can be a bit more sneaky and get right up on people before you unload, because I'm really bad with the guns. So I was basically playing the Chieftain purely to get a spawn in the Hunter, but I ended up doing so well in the Chieftain that I didn't really want to, I didn't want, at this point I have enough spawn points to spawn in the Hunter, but I didn't want to just chuck the spawn away. But anyway, I just got shot in the rear. I have no idea where he hit me, but he somehow managed to bounce a shell, 100mm shell that is, off the back of my tank. So I just turn around, the Chieftain has very good turret traverse. He popped out on his reload and I just shot him straight through the gun mantlet, wiped out all the crew in his gun, and killed him in one shot. So, after writing in chat, how the hell did you fuck that up? I decided to keep pushing forwards. So I'm approaching that spawn point at this moment in time, and our team are pretty much steamrolling them. We're currently capping the third base. I'm expecting someone to push around this corner, which is why I'm being hesitant. I can hear a tank up front somewhere, and I'm just chasing down kills, but a friendly hunter, just because it's only an anti-aircraft gun, he blows it away with his 30mm cannons, which is what I wanted to do if I'd spawned in my hunter at this point. So, spawn point of the enemy is right up ahead, and there's a T-10M pushing out, so he just fired, thankfully. I was hoping that that shot would go through the bottom plate and hit his ammo, because I'm using Sabo, so it would have been hard to pen him anywhere else. On the second shot, I reload Hesh because I know that he has a longer reload than me. Hesh on the front of a T10, anywhere on the upper front plate, will penetrate and hit his ammunition, and that's exactly what it does. So that's a T10 down. Right now I'm scanning the upper section of their spawn point, because I don't want anyone to spawn in and kill me. They start capping A. So instead of sitting here and waiting for them to spawn in so I can kill them, I decide to push back around. Now I'm worried that they're going to spawn on the beach, which is why I've got the gun pointed that way. That friendly Chieftain must have been who the T10 fired at, so if he hadn't been there, I'd have been absolutely boned, because like I was saying earlier, lower front plate of the Chieftain is a massive, massive weak spot. Because of the position that that friendly Chieftain was in, it was likely that the T10 couldn't get his gun down far enough to hit the lower plate, so it will probably just harmlessly bounced it off his turret or his upper plate. So I've turned the gun forwards because I'm expecting the friendly Chieftain to deal with anyone that spawns, in that spawn point behind me and cause me any grief from the rear. Turn attention to the front. They're now capping back 2 spawn points. I would tell you which, but the window I'm having to look at the video in whilst I'm recording the commentary is so small I can't read it. I think it's the C flag that they just capped, but they're capping A now. I know, we're capping. Whatever. There's someone up there likely, and I've just spotted a ZSU 57 behind me. Very bad news. So he set me on fire, but my engine can block his shots, so I'm going to wait as long as possible to extinguish the fire and make it coincide with the time that my gunner comes back online. Gunner's back up, turret rotates. I managed to knock out both of his cannon breaches with the flukiest shot in the entire universe, so I managed to take out some of his crew there with the MGs. Keep the gun pointed at him, the gun's still fully operational. Repair the tank as fast as humanly possible. Call for backup from the team. Sit here with the gun pointing at him. I should have really loaded Hesh because it's an explosive round, so it would have mattered less where I hit him. If I'd been firing Hesh before, he'd be dead right now. But I got lucky. I didn't load Hesh. I'm still using APDS, so as soon as my tank's back up, I'm going to reverse and get the front of the tank pointed at him, because although the front plate is still a weak spot, the rest of the tank isn't. And I'm absolutely dead if he pokes out and shoots me from the side right now, which of course is precisely what he tries to do. But kill him anyway. Hull brake mechanic. With thin-skinned anti-aircraft vehicles, if you penetrate them, then they basically die regardless of where you hit them, to try and mimic a more realistic, approach to how it would really be in real life. If a 120mm gun hit basically anything, anywhere, the spalling on the inside of the tank would kill everyone on the inside anyway. So they've modelled it to try and, you know, make it a bit more realistic and make anti-aircraft guns a bit less annoying. So that was the ZSU 23-4. He's dead as well. Hull braked him again. You'll notice that I basically didn't hit him anywhere important. Gonna use the binos to kill this IT-1. Just push forward so I don't hit that monument edge. Shoot through the fences and kill him. I'm gonna push in to A, I believe, and cap it. So at this point, given that we still have B, I think that there's unlikely to be anybody to the back of me. So I angle up, I put the back of the tank against this wrecked Sherman to hope that if anyone comes from behind, they'll have some cover. Point the gun down the most likely avenue that they'll approach from. And someone's dropped artillery on my position, which means that there is somebody that knows that I'm here. And I can see anti-aircraft tracer from their spawn. Just missed a tank passing, that was a T-62. Didn't miss the ZSU 37-4. Hit his ammunition that time. IT-1 fires and misses. APDS straight through the front. Kills everybody inside. Detonates his ammunition. This is where it all falls down. T-62 that I missed before. If I'd been quick enough on the trigger, I could have got him. Really trolley front armour. If I'd been about a foot to the right, he'd be dead. But his track eats it, so that's the end of the game for me. At this point, I stupidly spawn in my Hunter and just throw the game away because I wanted to get in the plane. They didn't even have any planes up. Should have spawned in my Chieftain. But I'll cut the video here. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.